The SAG-AFTRA elections are upon us, but what does it all really mean anyway? I don't necessarily know these positions. I don't necessarily know who these people are. I don't know what the message is. That's why you hear a lot of in this union. That's why we have such a low voter turnout, and it needs to change. I have the right guest right now who's going to inform us on all of that and much more as we go beyond the take. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Beyond the Take. I am actor, producer, and host, of course, Marc Chouen, here for a special episode. It is what? Episode 5? I'm already losing track. That's great. Might be me being old. I have no idea, but here we are for a very special episode with my dear friend. I've known her, I don't even know how long I've known her now. Again, old age sucks. She is running for SAG office right now. She is an actress herself. She is a badass in the Navy. This girl, her name is Christina Bobrowsky. What's
Oh,
up, my friend?
oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Hi, Mark. Thank you for having me.
Hi, no, thank you for joining the show. It's been a bit.
Yeah, we see each other in time, adult life,
Right.
you have a lot going on. I'm just on Long Island, so that's already a sort of barrier. But
Well, you just came back from Greece, though. You were well, you were doing training over there, right?
yeah, training for my unit in the Navy Reserves. And I fell in love with it again. I went last year and this year, and it's hard to leave. It's weird to say because I love my life and my family, but there's something about it. Maybe it's the sea or something, or the cats. I don't know, but it's like I still miss it. I left 2 weeks ago now, and I'm still like, oh, I miss it so much.
Oh no, I haven't been to Greece in like what 5, 6 years, something like that, and I still miss it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. When you told me you were going, I was oh, take me with you. I'm so jealous.
Oh my
The
God.
water, it's like the bluest water I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Just the people are friendly. The best gyro, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Is
what's
it
the
Euro?
euro?
Euro. Oh my
Euro,
God, I'm
please.
so
I say gyro.
American,
I'm not
so
changing.
American. But the best Euro I've ever had in my life was over there. Yeah, no, it's just a fantastic place. Um, but yeah, let's talk about you, Christina.
Yeah.
When we first met, you've always been involved in SAG-AFTRA, it seems like. You're doing things now with them. When I first met you, it was like some sort of Christmas function, I believe, right? Do you remember
Probably,
this?
yeah. Yeah, I'm on the host committee still. So we help organize all the like fun events. We organize the Christmas party. We organize, well, the holiday party. Let's include
Yeah,
everybody. And
yes,
then
the holiday party.
the
Yes,
holiday
yes.
party, L'chaim, whatever, Kwanzaa. And then we do the SAG Awards, which is pretty cool. You've been to that, right?
I actually, it's funny. I've never been.
Oh,
I'm dying to go. I can never make it happen for whatever reason, but I'm dying to go. One day I will.
well, you bring your daughter, and then
I'll
we'll
bring
make
my
it.
daughter.
And that'll be the only way you get out of the
That's
house, probably.
that's the only way I can go, apparently, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
no,
you can
Mark,
bring
you're
a
not
guest.
allowed. You're not
Right.
allowed unless you bring your daughter.
That's actually the ticket in.
That's the
Um,
ticket.
so one day we're gonna get you there, and it's fun. It's just hanging out with the members. Pretty much wherever the members could hang out, I help to organize, and then I show up to hang out. So it's a win-win. But yeah, I'm on like a bunch of committees, and on the military committee is a lot of fun, meeting all the veterans and stuff. But I'm on so many. I'm just very involved. I've been involved since I joined with the merger, 2012. When did you join? Do you remember?
I joined officially early 2016 is when I joined.
Not long after.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's cool
Yeah,
stuff.
I just missed the merger, I think. When I got into this industry, like professionally, I think I just got in right after it merged.
Well, you're in, whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
And
have to
now,
go through like a whole I'm after it, I'm SAG, now I'm SAG after. Yeah. Yeah, that
yeah.
was good.
And now the entry fee I heard here is like crazy. I mean, it's a lifetime membership, so whatever, but I got in when it wasn't as expensive. I'll just say that. Yeah, I teach a class now, a breathwork and awareness class, and once a month. So if you want, if you could squeeze it in, the conservatory opens up, I think soon, the next round. And it's once a month. We meditate, we do breath work and share all our self-care. And we share our blocks in the industry, you know. I had a class today and someone shared that their block is trust and trusting that the casting director will like what I'm doing, what the producer will like what I'm doing, what, you know. And I was like, well, why do you, you know, even though it is their choice, why do you care so much, right? Do what you have to
Hmm.
do, move on. But trust is a huge issue for a lot of people, you know, and trusting yourself to make the choices, right? It's just a lot of thought and choices we have to make in this.
Well, I think like, right now the state of the industry, I mean, I feel like everyone's like confidence and their trust in the industry has been rocked completely. And I think, something like that right now is so important. Like, I've talked to people even who've been doing this for years, longer than me and you, and who have very successful careers. Like they feel like a little uneasy right now with like the state of the industry.
Yeah, it seems like it's a slow battle uphill from COVID and the strikes. Um, but through history, things have to go depressed to come up. So I'm not worried about it. We were also talking about AI, of course, ding, ding, ding. And you know, AI seems to be more replacing like artwork. I'm an artist too. So everything, you know, every corner it's like AI. But you can't replace people. So even though it is scary, there's more like sold out theaters than ever. You know, movies are selling out finally again. And I like to say, which I hope doesn't get me in trouble, but money laundering will never cease to exist, you know? So let's hope that the people with the big money want to invest in us in a good way, you know? And I'm not afraid of it. And I think a lot of people are still shaken and afraid, but I don't think it's necessary. I think you can't replace people, and they've tried doing AI movies, you know, and people aren't connecting to it because there's an emptiness to it.
Well, because
And
it's, it,
yeah.
I think it's because it's still so young. I mean, you could definitely tell, like, hey, man, that person has seven fingers, no one hand, it gives, and it takes you out of it. But, I mean, ChatGPT 5 just came out, right? And it's already better. And they even said, like, they still have better things in the works right now that could start replacing people's jobs. AI is still in its infancy. This is the dumbest AI will ever be. And I think, you know, not to like, go on in like the paranoia train, but like, I think the fear is valid personally, especially when the government, and I will say too, for the record, for SAG, that the guardrails just aren't simply there right now. And like, I know you're running for office. I do want to touch into that, but this is a big topic here, especially if next year comes around for the contract negotiations. So what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts essentially on the last contract negotiations, how they did and how you think we could do better?
Sure. I'm not going to promote my candidacy just because I don't feel the need to.
No.
I do like to promote that I'm very active and a full-time volunteer. But other than that, I show up and I do work, and it's not, you know, it's volunteer. So
Yeah.
I've given my life to the union for a long time. But anyway, um, with this last contract, we had zero protections. And if it were up to the producers, we would still have zero protections. I think because the producers finally realized that it can replace them is why they caved. They would have kept going if they didn't start having some sort of light. I think if you really dive into it, because I went to a few of the informative meetings that the union holds, and if you dive into it, we did get a lot of small walls put up, right? It wasn't big, but if you follow SAG News, every few months, we're getting a few more in place. They just got through that, like if a performer is passed, you have to I forget. I forget the specifics and I don't want to mess it up, but if you have an advertisement using AI, you have to let people know, which is great, because at least already that says we're using AI and that decreases the likelihood of stealing an image. But even still, in my own perspective of consuming these things that I'm seeing already, it's just not people. Like energy is real, energy is tangible. And I saw an airport. I was in Greece and there was an ad over and over again, and it was AI, and it was really creepy and weird, and it made me like ill in a weird way. And that's what I'm realizing. The more I'm staring at it, like it's good for a quick bite, right? Like these funny, I won't even say these funny TikTok videos I'm seeing, but they're wild what people are doing with AI. And I can watch it for a minute, 2 minutes, but I cannot continue. There's something about it. For me personally, I don't know. This is what I think a lot of people will discover with it is there's an emptiness to it. I know people want to upload consciousness into AI as much as possible, but that's the only fear I would have, right? It's not there. And
Not
I
there
agree. I don't think,
now. That's the
right,
thing. I think the
right.
problem is it's just like, unions can only do so much. I know SAG's doing their thing, DGA's doing their thing, Writers Guild is doing their thing to try and protect the union members from AI, but it all comes down to the government ultimately. And as far as I know right now, as it stands, the United States government is the only country in the world, even China has made a pledge to put some sort of like restrictions in terms of AI. And the United States is the only one that doesn't. And it doesn't look like they're going to. And that's worrisome, I think. And
Yeah, what was
there,
that country? Sweden, right? I think that I was really way ahead of the game. Was it Sweden or?
well, it's the thing is like, we can't afford to be behind the ball, is what I'm trying to say, in terms of AI. We need to be ahead of it. Just because like right now, and I agree, right now, like there doesn't seem to be an absolute threat to actors. To special effects, I'd say yes. There's
But
more of
that has
a
always been around, right? I
yeah.
mean, really.
Well, to enhance, to assist, but not necessarily to replace. Now it's getting to the point where they looks like they could be replaced. Um, but I think with technology that moves this fast, this is the fastest growing technology I think we've ever seen in human history, and we need to be ahead. And I think it's worrisome when you see your own government playing behind the eight ball, and maybe even kind of helping it along. And then also unions. I think the unions they need to be a step ahead. I think they're taking for granted. It's kind of nothing now.
Yeah, I think unions are the first people to step in. No one else was doing anything till the unions started doing it,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. Um, but yeah, I know you're not promoting your candidacy. Can you talk a little bit about this? Because I feel like, with SAG-AFTRA, right? The elections. And anytime we're voting in SAG-AFTRA,
No one knows what the hell is going
no
on.
one knows what's going on. Thank you.
They
Yes.
don't.
And
I
it's
actually been waiting for this question because people talk and talk all online and everything, and they really don't know what they're voting for unless you're in the S, I'll say. So basically, there's delegates,
and what does a
and
delegate do? Let's
what
let's
does a
start there.
delegate do?
Let's
So,
start there.
as a delegate, every 2 years you can become a delegate. You put your name in the hat, you get voted in, whatever. You go to convention, and at convention, the resolutions are there. So if you wanted, you can submit a resolution to get approved by, voted in saying, I want less turnaround times for stand-ins or whatever. And then that gets put on a list of 100 items, and then it gets whittled down to the most important 20 or so.
How did
Because
they decide that?
based on, that's a good question. I think it's based on, I think a committee decides it.
Okay.
Volunteer committee. I don't remember.
Not necessarily delegates, but like a different committee.
No, they are
They're
delegates
delegates. Okay.
as
Okay.
well.
Okay.
from a previous term, I think. I forget the name of it. Anyways, it's a special committee. They know what they're doing, and they're volunteers. People like to forget that these people don't sleep for many days and they figure this shit out. And we all have the same hive mind, whatever. So that those 20 items get brought to convention and then we vote on it. That's what the delegate does. The delegate
Okay.
has a role for a day, let's say 3 days of 2 years, which is cool, right? You get to be involved in the process of these things going up, right? That's what a delegate is. A local board member meets once a month with the rest. I think New York has 30. Every local has a different amount. And we go over all the events. We slowly bring up our ideas and discuss them and figure out what we want to do with them. And then most of the time, we're all on committees. And anyone could be on a committee. This is why if someone who's running hasn't been on a committee, I really don't kind of want to hear what they're saying because committees is where
Mm.
the true work is done, you know?
Okay.
It's like I was on the Young Performers Committee and we talked about that Nickelodeon special. Remember that special about children on set or whatever? We talked about it. We found out issues from all across the nation. We brought it all together and sent it up for contract negotiations. That's what we did in that committee. So that's where the real work is done.
And
So when
how did that go?
it went good. It went up, and I don't know if the contract has been negotiated yet, but I don't want to name drop, but some people that are running were involved and helped it go up. Um, but so so basically the point is you can be on a committee right now if you wanted to, and you do have to apply every 2 years and get accepted. But say you don't get accepted this year, you're going to stop applying? No, you apply again. Some people are mad they didn't get it on it one round, or I have actually been kicked off and brought back.
Well,
So it's
wait, you
not,
got kicked off a committee. How
I've
did you get
gotten
kicked
kicked
off the committee? What happened?
because a celebrity came, yeah, a celebrity came and took
Oh, we
my
won't name
role
names.
and they never showed up, right? So I came back
Oh,
and they appreciate me now, right? That's how it works. But anyone could be a committee member. And if I'm not seeing people doing that, I don't really think they know anything about what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
right,
So
right.
so the committees are the place to start for service in the union, and then delegate is just like a fun thing to do. And it's important. It is important. And then local board, and then obviously national board is like the final say throughout the year. So things that are not done at convention are done through the national board through the year or the two
Mhm.
years. So that's more weight in your voice. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. It's really simple. Obviously the national board deals with heavier issues.
Right.
If
Yes.
something were to happen, they'd all have to vote on it, figure it out. And they don't all meet. There's all sorts of different folks in these rooms, and we all have the same interests, but we sometimes, like in politics, just can't come to the same.
Right. So there's different parties, right?
Mhm.
So like
Right.
this is something I want to talk about because even though like I know some things, like I'm asking questions because of the fact that like I feel like so many people don't know, even in our own union. And I think it's important to educate this, to get the word out. Maybe this will help, bring more like votership out there because like I
Yeah, I
think people
hope
just turn
so.
a blind eye because they just don't know and maybe they feel uncomfortable asking questions because they don't want to look ignorant.
Yeah.
Um, so as far as there's parties within
Yeah.
the union.
I mean, yeah, in LA there were a few, and they changed them actually. I think one is called the Coalition. I know there's USAN. Those are the only two I know of.
USAN, thank you. Is that
Yeah, but
that's the one. That's been the big one. But
yeah,
Coalition, is that newer? I feel like I haven't heard that one before.
that's new in LA, I think. See, this is what I'm saying. They changed things. I don't know. All I know is I like everybody. It's like red
Yeah,
and blue.
it's not Republican Democrat here. Yeah, like we're
You
not all
have
like I
to
can't
pick a,
stand you.
yeah, but also it is in a way because you have to pick a color. You just have to, it's like a team. You have to pick a color to run in a way, you can't really run independent. It's a similar energy. You
So
have to
what
kind of run.
what is the difference between, say, USAN and the coalition? Like, what's the
I don't
difference?
know that, but I know that I'll just say because I really don't know what the coalition is. I see people coming up on it and everything,
Mhm.
but I haven't been educated yet to what that is.
Or just
But
like say any
yeah,
which parties, like what are
yeah,
the
yeah.
differences here? Yeah.
It's one might seem more I'm trying to think of a nice word. Not intense, but more passionate, I guess. One is more like laid back, like we're gonna get this job done, maybe, and one is more like we're gonna, we need to get this job. Those are the two different tones. I would say they're different tones.
Okay.
And that's it. One might be more radical at times, and one might be more down the line. So it depends what flavor you're looking for, I guess. There's individuals to me are what I look at, obviously, but
Yeah.
and
No, it's the same. That's why
yeah,
I looked at individual. It's funny because like SAG, they'll put out like little snippets, right? I've seen someone for you too, like what you're running on, and they all kind of say similar things, right? About like what they're looking for, what type of changes to make. So that's why it's just like, so I see one party and the other, but they're saying the same thing. So it's like, what's the difference?
right. It's the I would say it's the vote for the individual. Even though I appreciate the people I run with, and obviously I endorse them as well. But I appreciate people in all parties, and it's difficult. It really is. But the only time I'm not on someone's side is like last round, people were like attacking me. They didn't even know me.
Why?
I
What's so
know,
silly? Why?
online bullying, they're bored or something. But I literally was just last term, I was like, I'm running, and people are like, for no reason. People just want to, they have like politics brings this energy out. And actually now I'm friendly with a few of them because they knew me over time. But it's so weird what politics does. But
Well, that's
these
the thing,
are
though. I mean, we're
elections.
all going to be working together on different
Right,
sets or whatnot. We're going to run into each other. Like, we're all kind of fighting for the same cause, and like we all saying the same stuff.
right,
That's what just is so silly. Is it people because like, oh, I don't like her because I think she's going to win, and like I'm running for the same thing. Like, is it that?
right. Maybe, it may be. I know, I mean, these are all voluntary positions, so I don't know
Right.
who should be
Like
fighting over these things, but
even the president doesn't get paid, right? Like the president doesn't take
I
salary.
don't know. I was actually thinking about that. I
I
haven't
don't think they
investigated.
do.
Probably not, honestly. They might get paid for travel and things like that because that's like
Maybe I
pretty,
think that we get a stipend of
yeah,
something of some sort
stipends,
of
right? I'm
maybe,
guessing maybe, right?
maybe.
But
But that's it. That can't be much.
no, and that's probably why presidents usually have like some sort of career already. I'm guessing too because they can handle a life like that. I don't know.
That's kind of what I want to get to as well. Like with the presidency, with the bigger seats, does it feel like? Is it just me? Because I kind of feel this way. It kind of feels like not necessarily what they're running on, but more so like, oh, I recognize that name. Does it come almost like a popularity contest? These elections?
I would say so. I want to name drop so much, but I just
No,
can't
it's,
because
don't worry. Yeah,
but I want to because I feel like one time someone took my votes. You know what I mean? Just because of their name. And they don't even show up. And that's hard because anyone, someone not watching this interview or whatever will look at the ballot and say, oh, say they're a background, right? And they're looking and they're like, oh, I've worked with this person or I know this person. Oh, and also like, oh, this person is in this blockbuster just now, or this person's on Broadway, right? Um, they vote for them, and then and then these people are too busy. But whoever asked them to run knew they were taking votes. Sometimes there's strategies like that.
wow.
I haven't seen it in a while. I haven't seen it to get that messy, but there's tactics like that to put more power behind a team.
Because especially with the presidency, especially right now, it seems like it's Sean Astin, who everyone knows and loves, and then the other guy. You know, like,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
it's almost just like, well, it's almost like a given. It feels like,
Is it, I mean, it feels like real politics, doesn't it? It feels, that's all I
but
could say.
that's how it shouldn't be, though. It shouldn't
Right.
be. You know, and like I don't know,
Well, you and
it
I could
frustrates me.
run. You and I could run. That's the difference between actual politics and SAG politics. It's like you and I can run for presidency if we wanted to.
If we wanted to, right? But then what does it come down to, though? Like, me, with like, only a few thousand followers versus Sean fucking Astin of Lord of the Rings and
Right,
Rudy, I'm
right.
losing to Rudy.
Rudy, right? Yeah. Right. Well, that's popularity, that's politics, that's right.
Right.
And you could be doing more. I mean, I don't know his I've seen him and he looks to be like he's doing a lot, but um
No,
you know,
I read the
yeah.
email that he sent out. It was very well written and like, I feel his passion for it, but like, and I would love to have him on actually to even talk to him about it. Like, for me, looking at a presidency, and you can disagree with me if you like, but like I want to see someone in a leadership role that knows the current grind, that doesn't necessarily play to like the 20% or the 5% probably really of our union, but really to the whole, who understands even what a self tape is like.
Right. Um, I'm not going to endorse anybody because I don't,
No, 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 don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't feel that's my place. But from watching him be in the office for what he was doing, I think maybe national board, he was seemingly on the member side and had a good heart towards it. So that's all I observed. Um, I don't know enough, about other people. Um, I basically observe everybody and take, a little bit of this, a little bit of
Yeah.
that. And you can observe them too. They're all in groups and it's not hard to see where these people are coming from and what they stand for. And um, there is a lesser of two evils in every presidency. And that's what the research is, right? It's like you have these thoughts, now go do even Google has, for at least Tim has all the, has a lot of answers. And maybe you can find information on the opponent as well.
Yeah.
But it's
But
research, like
that's the thing that no
yeah.
one's doing the research. No one's doing research.
Now, and they very often don't.
Yeah.
That's why the name is it. Oh,
It-
I get a chance to vote. Some people don't even, it's like, and then they complain a year later about what's going on when they're the ones not voting. You know what I mean? It's a whole vicious cycle.
how do you think that can change?
Voter turnout
Voter
in
turnout,
general.
yeah. Voter turnout in general. Because like even something as monumental, we want on strike for felt like forever, right?
Yeah,
Even for the contract to get ratified. It was such a low turnout. And like
yeah.
that blew my mind. It's like if you can't get a large
Right,
turnout
right,
for
right,
that, then what are we doing here?
right.
And I say this, and I sound like someone that's like anti-SAG. It's I love my union. I am so passionate about my union, but like because I'm so passionate about it, I feel like I could sit here and criticize it because of the fact that I want it to be better than what it is, and our members. Because I believe in the message. I believe what it's about, and like it bothers me to see stuff like that. I'm sure it bothers you.
Yeah, I mean, it bothers me to the extent of
I mean, you're running it.
forgetting.
It's a difference.
I mean, I don't really, I'm still going to show up. I
Yeah.
actually ran 5 times. And when I moved home from New York, I mean, from LA to New York, I lost because I moved.
Mm.
So people are like, how is she going to represent LA when she's living in New York now? Anyway, it was terrible. So out of 5 times I ran, I lost once. And you know what I did? I called SAG. I said, I'm coming to convention. Sorry. And they said, okay, because I've been serving for a while. And they made me a brand ambassador.
That's
So
awesome.
anyone who would have lost could have done the same thing. And I was the only one at the table as a brand ambassador saying hi to all my friends, showing them like F you, like I'm not backing down. I'm still going to show up and do the work.
That's
It's
chutzpah.
not
I love
even
it.
about, and our career is is otherwise it's the career, right? It's like I love my community and we all deserve better. We just got a nice little wage increase. Like I celebrate those little victories because someone fought in the room for those things too. People forget about the things that are coming through time. But there's always another contract being negotiated. A contract comes, what, every 2 years is another one. So it's not like nothing's being done. It's just staying on top of it. What are we doing now? We just did the interactive video game one, and now right? So every time a contract gets negotiated, things are getting better. It doesn't mean it's all happening at once. You can't get everything at once. These people are generally greedy and soulless. So to get anything is good time through time, but not, you can't get it all at once. That's part of the problem. It's like,
No, you can't get everything at once, and that's what negotiations is about. But like, I think one would say that like, prioritizing what's most important to get some sort of common ground there is. And I think for me personally, that's what I felt like the last SAG negotiations, the contract negotiations kind of failed to do. To me personally, I believe that. And I know some others do as well. Like for you personally, like, obviously you're running for a reason, right? You want SAG to be better. And I think that's always a goal, just for us to be better than yesterday. What do you think that like, SAG can be better at for tomorrow?
oh, I like the Navy taught me one thing I like and camaraderie. I think since COVID, we've been coming together more. And I think more people showing up. So that's actually going back to the other question. What frustrates me is people not coming to the meetings because you're in a union. We have W and W meetings where you can literally tell them the issues, and then that gets sent to the committee, which gets sent to the contract. And half the time these meetings are empty, and sometimes they're on Zoom. So I want people in the union to be union members and come together and not just, like a lot of different unions. Yes, a lot of unions help you with getting a job. Like, unfortunately, SAG-AFTRA can't directly do that, but they give us thousands of dollars worth of education and programs and direct cast. We have a lot of benefits in the union. People
Which
don't
people, it's
realize.
crazy that people don't realize though. People don't even know what the conservatory is or the difference between the conservatory and SAG-AFTRA
Found
Foundation. People
Yeah.
even don't even realize the discounts that we get.
Right, right, right. Basic but good, right. You could go to the gym and a movie and right, a car. You could rent a car, right?
Oh, by the
Yeah.
way, our movie discount is freaking awesome.
Yeah, you use it. Yes. I have an AMC Stubs membership, so I haven't used the SAG, but are you near an AMC?
Yeah, so I'm still figuring out where, but I'm still learning New
Okay.
Jersey, by the way. They don't have as many movie theaters, the proximity wise, as it does in New York. That's a whole separate issue. We'll talk
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
another time.
yeah.
But like, is that what I'm saying here? Is that a communications issue, or is that just like laziness on members? Like, I feel like me
It's
personally, I feel like
yeah.
SAG could do a much better job communicating this.
It's if you read the emails, it's there. You know what? The email might be clunky. I'll say
It's
that.
clunky. It is clunky
Because
for
it's
sure.
there. And they've gotten better. They have links at top. Like if you see the casting access link, it has 5 things, New York, LA, and I just click New York. I'm not playing games. So you have to kind of get familiar with some of these things. But like events, like the Labor Day parade coming up, like that's in the email. And excuse me, things are there. You just have to read them. So it's hard. Otherwise word of mouth, your friend would tell you, right? Come to this thing with me. But it's in the emails, but it's just a little clunky, I would say. But a lot of members would rather just scoot by, even because we have a hard time as it is, right? Looking for
Hmm.
work. So I understand not wanting to read 10 extra emails,
Could
but
they
it's
could they do a better job social media wise? Because I follow SAG in all forms of social media, and like I feel like they don't necessarily pop up my algorithm. Like I I, I don't
you
know.
follow SAG New York.
On Facebook I do. But I don't think I do on
I think
Threads.
I think they have yeah. Uh
I'll check that another time. But
Anyway, Twitter, X, whatever. I don't know these things. X and Facebook, definitely. But anyway, you follow your local, that helps. They're always trying to work on it because that's a committee in itself is communications. They do the
Yeah.
magazine, I believe. But I don't know. I just know there's a lot of good members doing all this work, and it's not the staff helps and is a great support, but it's a lot of the members doing the stuff. So if you
Yeah.
if you brought it up to them, they would definitely they would, look into it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, again, I'm talking from a place where, like, I just want to see things get better.
Yeah, no,
Like,
and so we all do, and
yeah,
and you know,
because it's so important.
yeah, what's really the most important thing is more work in the end of the day, right? I mean, obviously protections is safety, whatever, but we want to work and we will work and we'll make it happen. Like I was telling my class today, get a manifestation journal, make it tangible. I say, look at Jim Carrey, right? He wrote himself a million zillion dollar check and he wrote all the time what he wanted, right?
I literally did that, and it's funny, like the date just passed.
Really?
And that yeah, I don't have that number in my bank account. But we'll
Well,
work at it. Round
well,
two.
now you
Round
have a
two.
child, so good luck.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, you get in a commercial and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right? But there's one of the people in the class today was like he books his own auditions, and last year he was in a film festival. So it's our own blocks that are blocking us from more. But in the union,
Agreed.
it's different,
Agreed.
a different ballpark. But so yeah, I mean, I could talk about the union forever. I love them, but I find a home there, with the people, and that's how I met you. We both were union working on set, right? I think what was
Yeah.
that? Was
Oh
that
God. I forgot what it was. I know
when
we
we
were
wore suits
cops.
or something, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we were cops. I forgot what it was. I have a really good picture of it actually. I'll post that. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean, I listen. I know you're fighting a good fight. I know people there are very passionate about what they do. Again, it's a thankless job, for
Yeah, right.
sure.
Yeah.
Especially like I didn't necessarily know about that about like like celebrities or whatnot or not necessarily celebrities, but named actors
Right, right.
just like not showing up to when they're supposed to. That's frustrating. I feel like the most people in the union don't know about stuff like that.
Some people do, some do, some don't. And maybe some think they might be able to, and then their schedule gets ahead of them. I don't know. But I don't see the people who were not showing up running again, which is cool too, right? It's like they're
Right.
not trying to ditch us again. So, it might happen for a term, but it doesn't continuously happen, which is good.
No, that is
Uh,
good. It's funny because I'm very passionate about it. And I was saying to my wife, man, I would love to run. I'd love to run. And I did look into it, but it was just like, and like I literally don't even have time to do a committee. I don't have time for stuff. So
it's
like
that you
what,
need time. Yeah.
yeah, I don't have to, yeah, exactly. So what am I doing?
So when
You
you
know?
have it, you do it. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, when my daughter's older and I'm not as needy.
Yeah.
When I have
The
one
baby.
less thing going on in my life, then yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, I give you credit, girl. I give you credit, and it's not easy. When is the election?
I think ballots went out, what's today? This week. So you'll be getting it any day now, I think. But it's every 2 years, and
And
I just don't think about it. I know it sounds weird, but I used to think a lot about it, you know. But when I just show up and do the thing, I just put my name on a piece of paper, hope for the best, and keep going. For me, it's not like I'm paying for advertisements, and you know what I'm saying? It's
do
like,
people do that?
yeah, I've seen promoted posts on my algorithm. Yeah. But I guess like for higher ups might have to. I guess
Yeah,
that makes more
yeah,
sense
that
because
makes
there
sense.
people do pay for those brochures in the mail and things like that. That is
What
paid for.
what changed for you that you started looking at it differently?
I feel like I know a lot of the members and they know me, and I don't think I know many people who show up more than me. And um, that's really what it is. Like I show up a lot. I feel like I live there, at the office in their basement. I stay under the desk.
Are you there right now, Christina? Yes or no?
I was there today. So sort of. But I just love it. Like I think when I joined with the merger, I had a really good group of people that are still in LA, still volunteering full time at every protest. And they took me under their wing as a young actress, and they trained me in the SAG community and how beautiful it was, and what politics does, and volunteering was like the main thing out there, and it was really
Yeah, what was it about? I mean, like you've been at this for it seems like for a very long time. Like, people go into acting to, not thinking about stuff like this.
right.
When I was first joined, like, SAG was a dream of mine to join the union, right? When it finally happened, like that's freaking awesome, blah blah blah. I'm going for bigger auditions, etc., etc. The last thing on my mind was like, the politics of SAG. So like what made you want to do all this work for them? Like again, you're working at the conservatory, you've done committees, you're running for office. Like what made you get so embedded doing this? What was the first thing?
I'm telling you, these people, I don't know if they brainwashed me or whatever, but they were like, come hang out with us at a coffee shop. And I was alone. I moved to LA, no, barely a friend. And they were my first friends. And I was started hanging around with them, and they were in all the committees, and they were like, come join us. They just invited me pretty much. And I found a family there. And I'm still friends with them today. I see them when I go to LA, and they do a lot of work out there. I'm very grateful. But I was young and impressionable, and that's my foundation. So I
You
would just
drank the
go to every.
Kool-Aid and
I
you're still
drank the
here.
Kool-Aid, and I'm in trouble now.
Help me.
Yeah, get out, right? I watched that yesterday. Um, I just love community, and we all have the same journey in a way, not individually, but we're all struggling in the same manner often. So, just even seeing you makes me happy, right? Because I know who
Oh,
you are, I know what we're about, and I know what brings us back to center is our love for this thing. So to know that everyone loves this thing is really like empowering. And I never feel alone. I think that's part of what it is too. Like I've never felt alone since joining the union. And I'm sorry if other people can't say that, but the door is open for opportunity and to be more involved. And I think the SAG Awards really brings that out of people whenever you get a chance. You can see in the pictures, like everyone's so happy and dressed up to the nines, and it's a chance to celebrate all of us.
what? Yeah. So like, the two times I've seen like, really the whole SAG community coming together is like, for awards like that. But then also for when we wanted to strike,
Yeah.
which was absolutely amazing to see the
Awesome.
turnout for that, to see like, the Writers Union, the Writers Guild and SAG, like, coming together. We're joining hands for this fight. It didn't necessarily matter if your background, your co-star, ghost star, like, if you're series regular, it didn't matter. We all mingled together
Right,
for this
right.
fight. And it was beautiful to see. And I just kind of wish like, I mean, it's never going to, I mean, that's a 10, right? That's the best level it's ever going to be. And it's impossible to think that it's going to be like that all the time, but at least like an 8 or a 9. Like, I'll settle for a 7. But like, I feel like it's either up there at 10 or it's like at a 3.
I think that there's a lot of forces, even in the universe, even in the reality, trying to divide us at
Mm,
most times. So maybe if we could all overcome that together, that would be a great step. Yeah, Anne Hathaway marched on my line, which was really nice. And I was like looking over, like, is she really here? Like she's with us. And no one bothered her for at least an hour. It must have been really nice for her till tourists started walking by. No member bothered this girl. But
right.
there are a lot of celebrities. I think most all showed up. But yeah, we were equal, you're right. And
It was just
but
so
that
cool,
it
man.
was
It was
so
so
cool.
cool.
Dance,
I, I, I
scream.
I had the pleasure of doing it, doing New York. And then I also, when I was in LA, I did it in LA as well. So it was like cool to have it on both coasts to be able to have that experience. But yeah, no, I mean, like going back to you though, like I think that's awesome that like that we talk about like being one, being a part of a community, and like now you're embedded in it. Like, is that the same as far as like joining in the Navy as well? Is that the same characteristics that it takes to go into the trenches as the way you are?
Yeah, it seems more in a strange way. I think there's more of a slight competition energy with acting. Even, I could be the total opposite character. It could be like a 7-year-old, like Latino guy or something, and he'll be jealous of me. You know what I mean? Like in this industry, we're competitive with each other when we don't need to be, you know? Obviously, uh, writers replace roles all the time with different characters. There's just we get in our heads about competition, and then in the military, there's no room for competition. We do have a hierarchy. Obviously, there's like enlisted officer, and then the ladder, right? The first class, second class, whatever. But overall it's just you work together, and you all have the same uniform. I think that helps because you all
Yeah.
look the same. So you just kind of treat each other the same, unless someone's being a shitbag, we like to say, then they get treated different because they're not being cool. Like people who don't want to cooperate and fight, rebels. We have rebels in the military, basically. And we try to help lift them up. Sometimes they attack, though, like people, there's
Wait,
always a bad
Christina,
seed.
did you deliver the code red?
Yeah, yes, code red. No, we did not. I did not, and I don't want to. Um, but I am, I'm
Couldn't help
strict.
myself.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm strict. I don't know, but especially when you're a reservist. What do I meet these people 2 days a month, minimum 2 weeks a year? Like, let's just do the 2 days we're getting paid to do and move on, and make it easy for everyone else because people in the reserves have two careers. People, anyway, don't get me started on my weekends.
Girl, I mean, I don't know how you do it at all. I mean, I talk about myself, like my crazy schedule. You're literally doing so many important things at the same time while also, having an acting career through all of this madness. And I commend you. Christina, thank you so much for finding time to join the show to talk about this, to educate those that are not in the union and those that are in the union. And I feel like this definitely needs to be for people that are in the union for sure that need this education because I can't even tell you how many people I've spoken to in SAG that don't know probably a quarter of what we talked about here. So thank you for all of this, Christina.
Thank you. It's important. So thank you for investigating. And I hope to see you at a breathwork and awareness class soon, if you can. Or we could do it on Zoom. I don't care. I just want to
I'm
spread the good juju.
I'm here for good juju all day, my friend. All
Yes.
day. Let's go. Hey, can you
Awesome.
right here tell everyone like exactly where it is, when, and how they can join along.
So I think everyone reads your emails, step one, and the conservatory opens up soon. I think in the next few weeks you could sign up. It's $50 for the year, for the semester. So it's $50 for every week classes, which is great. And you can always pop in if it fills up. You just pop in, and there's usually an open spot. But yeah, it's called Breathwork and Awareness with Christina Bobrowsky, and once a month I do it because I can't, commute. I'm from Long Island, as I said, but yeah, but I'm always, if you have a question about self-care, I have a lot of resources. Living in LA, living in LA is like the place to get self-care. I learned a lot there, so I spread it out here on the other coast.
No, we need it. We need it probably now more than ever. Christina, thank you again. Much love and best of luck to you.
Thank you. Best of luck to you, love, and thank you for having me, Mark. I appreciate you.
Mark my words here. This is going to be a very important election. There's a lot of things that are at stake right now in our industry. It's so important to me with SAG, right? With SAG-AFTRA. Excuse me, I need to get the whole name out, right? And As much as I give them all credit, because I do believe even the president, they're not getting a salary. They're all volunteers. But we need to get this right. We absolutely need to get this right. I personally believe that leadership in our union let us down with those last negotiations, which it's not the sole reason for the mess that's in the industry today, but I think it contributed to it, right? And I don't necessarily know how we get around it going forward, but we need to fight. We need to try, and we need the right people involved to do so. And we need people to get out and vote. Like this is not me, pounding my table like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, maybe I guess it is in a way. Like, we can't just sit around and bitch and moan to each other about like, our leadership and about what could have been if we're not doing stuff about it, if we're not going out and voting, if we're not talking about these things. This union's not going to survive if we keep doing this. If the studios just keep getting their way over and over and over again. You know, I love my union. I love SAG-AFTRA. Hell, if I had the time, you heard it here, like if I had the time to do it, I would run myself. I would be more involved myself. Unfortunately, that's not in the cards for me. But how do I get involved? I talk, I vote, I listen, I stay informed. And that's the very least that we can do as SAG-AFTRA members. If you're not going to get involved, be informed. Listen, vote, turn out and vote. It's not just about going out there and picket signs and posting your pictures like, hey, yeah, I was out there. It's much more than that. If you don't like the contract, vote no. Vote no. Let your voices be heard. It's called social media. It's called contacting your Douglas. Hell, you're voting for these people. You're voting based on a popularity contest, half of you, because you know them. So you probably have their number. You probably have their ability to DM them. Let them know. This election is important because next year the SAG contract is up. We're up for negotiations. We need the right people involved. I can't stress that enough. And if it goes south again, we have no one but to blame but ourselves. But I still want to instill hope. I don't want this to be doom and gloom because like I think a lot of these people they have the chutzpah. They have the aspirations for better for this union, but they need to know where you stand as well. So we need to do a better job standing together, not just when, the SAG awards are happening or not just when we're striking, but consistently all throughout. Because if not, then what is this all for? But anywho, that's my 2 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I am Marc Chouen. If you enjoyed this podcast, please spread the word. Spread the word beyond the take on all forms of social media. You can find us wherever you listen to your podcasts. We're on YouTube as well. And if you can, help a brother out, man. Write a review. Would really appreciate that. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what topics you'd like to hear about. I'm here for you to inform, to inspire, and just to spread the word. Thank you, my friends. Cheers.